Let's talk about challenges in internationalizing marketing and how to get around them. Have you ever tried to expand your go-to-market approach into new countries? Or have you ever felt that you cannot really track the impact of marketing across all of the countries you're operating in? Well, this is exactly where sharing some experiences and best practices can really help. Many companies start their business in one country and then sooner or later become successful and grow and then go for expansion into new territories. And in that case, I've seen usually two options or two scenarios. So option number one is what worked in your home country is simply copied into another country. Option number two, tiny marketing teams are built to explore the local specifics and then do a little bit of marketing. Well, to be honest, both of those options are pretty risky. So the first one, which I call central enforcement, this often fails because the markets and the cultures are very different. And on top of that, human nature forms resistance to most of the remote top-down enforcements. So that means you end up with local teams fighting against headquarters and the other way around, instead of fighting competition and conquering the market. The second option, which I call the island approach, this often fails because you end up with a lot of double work and very little impact with small, tiny local campaigns. And also the company strategy is not executed locally at all. Here you then end up losing your company's success DNA when entering that new country, and you're not able to replicate what made you successful in the first place. When going global, and that can also mean just entering one single new country, you often face things like cultural differences, a mismatch between a global strategy and local realities, and also a lot of pushbacks by the local teams, be it marketing, sales, or elsewhere. And this usually leads to a lot of reinvented wheels. Also many fragmented small campaigns with very little return or even no return. And also no genuine tracking of the value that you generate out of marketing. Also, when growing and expanding internationally, this often leads to more and to bigger teams, which are more often than not working in isolated silos. For example, someone creating a bit of content here, someone else making a media plan there, then the country coming back and saying, oh, my country is different, it doesn't work for me. And then everything is being redone locally over and over again. And then at the end, when you perhaps finally generated some leads, nobody really knows what is happening with those and you don't have any tracking. Now, the good news is this can all be solved. I've been leading and forming multiple global teams over the years. For example, we were building a marketing supply chain which followed the global strategy and was also aligned with the business targets. At the same time, we fully involved the countries, which led to a lot of local buy-in and to less local reinventions. Also, we established some true best practice sharing, which is crucial. And overall, this led to a more efficient and effective marketing model. And this, of course, also included a solid and especially an honest tracking of successes and also a tracking of the learnings in order to know where you need to improve. Now, this all then leads to more pipeline, to lower cost, to happier marketing teams, to real collaboration instead of working in silos, and ultimately to more revenue and more profit. Now, if you want to discuss a bit more about this, just hit me up. I've done those endeavors multiple times over the last 20 plus years and across more than 30 countries. So let's roll up our sleeves and get it done. Thanks for listening.